now, but we're not live, so I can edit a bunch of shit out. Chug, chug, chug. Frank the Tank. Frank the Tank. What are you
Salud,
drinking
my
anyway?
friend.
Salud. Cheers.
I got a
Oh,
couple
my
of
friend.
Heinekens. And as always,
Some
our
Jim
sponsor.
Beam.
Right?
Oh, you lucky motherfucker.
Well, I am
Oh,
lucky. This was a gift. My sister brought this back for me from Aruba.
shit,
So
man. I
that
think we
bottle goes
might.
away from Aruba.
I might end up. I might end up. Fuck, man. I think I have some room around here somewhere. I might end up pulling it down at some point. So,
Oh shit! So far, every episode we've done, I've always had like a beer and a shot or three.
all right. Now this one, I am going to release. All right. So we got to be on our best behavior. We can still fucking curse. That's all good and all well and done. Just you can't say none of your KKK stuff anymore, bro. No more of your KKK
Not
propaganda.
me. you.
My KKK propaganda is fine. Yours is a
Yeah,
problem.
that's true. I'm white. Right, that's the difference.
Yeah. K is a knife.
I'm
No, right.
white
So
and you're not.
yeah. Privilege. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you get to say more than I can, so
Yeah, right. No, jeez.
that's
All
the
right, so
thing, man.
I'm going to introduce the show. All right, welcome everybody. This is Channel Starface. I'm SithLord Felix with Chuck, the motherfucking man.
Chuck the truck.
Chuck the truck. That's right.
Move over,
All right.
Hank the Tank.
Yeah. So today we will be watching the Evil Dead 2013 remake. Chuck may not have seen it, right?
It's funny because I do feel like we were hanging out in the studio in your small side room at the time, and I feel like we did. But
Maybe, but you don't
other
know for sure.
than
We were super effed
yeah,
up.
possibly.
Yeah, right.
But you know what? We were watching a lot of movies at that time in general. I do feel like we did this one, but usually, like all the stuff like we did, like Halloween and the Star Treks, I have some remembrance of the movie itself. But this, even when I watched the trailer back, I was like, why don't I remember this? Except
Yeah,
maybe the premise of the girl was kicking dope, right? She's getting off the
yeah,
right heroin or something. I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like okay, that was the only thing. But all right,
Now,
now
before we start, actually, let's talk a little about Evil Dead. Tell me, what your rankings are and like your memories of watching Evil Dead 1, 2, and I know your personal favorite, Army of Darkness.
yeah. See, yeah, because I was still young enough for the first Evil Dead that I enjoyed it as a horror movie because it scared me. Like the first one, I was still in that age bracket where that shit was still scary and shit. So I fucking loved Evil Dead 1. Then I didn't see it for a long time just because like Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, and what I really remember is like the horror stickers that you could get in like the Wallbounds quarter machines. And I
Yeah,
always wondered like they would have all these like color graphic decals you could put wherever. But I love those and I collected them. So I just remember they had one for the Evil Dead 2. And I was like, oh, one day I gotta see that because the first one was so fucking good. So when I finally got to Evil Dead 2 and everybody loved it, everybody's talking about all the older guys being like, oh yeah, it's great. And then you guys see Army of Darkness. And then Freddy was big at the time. I'm just getting over it too. So if I sound a little phlegmy, forgive me. I'm getting it right. So fucking when I finally saw Evil Dead 2. Oh, before that I watched Evil Dead 1 again, now like as a teenager with my homies.
just to
And
set
still
up,
right,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I was like, oh, I now wasn't like little kid scared, but I still felt like seeing it for the first time now, older, really understanding the premise. I was like, oh, cool, this fucking movie is dope.
Yeah.
And then 2 came along, and before I knew about the rights of the Sam Raimi shit or any behind the scenes studio conflict, I was like, what are they doing to this awesome movie? So is this a rewrite? Is this a remake? I was confused right off the bat from fucking what the storytelling was, where it left off from part 1. And I fucking hated the slapstickiness. Everyone's like, "Oh, Ash is so great when he throws." And Bruce Campbell throws himself around the room, hurting
Two and
himself.
Three Stooges.
Yeah, I was like, "Yo, this is horrible." Exactly. Yeah, you said it all. That drop
Wow.
says it all.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't even want to touch Army of Darkness unless you want me to rant for another 10 minutes.
Do it,
Because
motherfucker.
that is one big fucking turd shell. Because people would tell me like, okay, you don't get it, or here's what you're missing for part 2 is like the rewrites. They had to retell the story, but there's so much more because Ash gets into it in the hand and the fucking chainsaw and blah blah blah. And like, all right, I kind of got it, and then like all this slapstickiness is like, oh, it's highbrow. I'm like, all right, well, it's not horror anymore. I don't even know why they're fucking calling it Evil Dead. Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell should have just called it something else, or should have straight up said the retelling of Evil Dead.
Well, they called it Army of Darkness.
Well, I don't know with part 3 when he goes back in time and it's now fucking Knights of the Round Table.
It's the same character, same universe, but it's way different from one and even 2. Even 2 was a little bit more serious than Army of Darkness.
Not really, but maybe. Yeah, I see why you would say that.
No, it is 100%. It is. I mean, like 1 is more serious than 2. 2 is more serious than 3. 3 definitely gets more outlandish. I mean, it brings in a fantasy element, like a Dungeons and Dragons vibe, heavy metal vibe. So that was different.
I hated that. What's that one with Martin Lawrence? When Martin Lawrence goes back.
Black Knight. I think it's called Black Knight. If not, I'm racist as shit. Yeah, right. Let the race wars begin. No, but I'm pretty sure it's called Black Knight. Yeah. Now,
yeah,
the audience
Black Knight meets fucking Monty Python.
Oh yeah, no. Now the audience doesn't know because I haven't.
They need to know.
Anything. They need to know.
They need to know how bad 2 and 3 of Evil Dead.
No, they need to know how bad Chuck's taste in movies is. No, I'm just kidding. Now, Chuck is actually, I actually have a tremendous amount of respect for Chuck.
Oh, well, and cheers to you then.
Cheers to you. No, because I always bust his chops, but in reality, I really, really respect that. He has a very high standards for his movies. Me personally, I love Evil Dead 1 and 2. I actually just watched Army of Darkness today, which was absolutely fantastic. Now listen, I'm one of those, I understand when people don't like a certain movie, and I understand the reason. And then I can still overlook it and still like it, and whatever. Some different strokes for different folks.
You call that movie anything else. You change the first 8 minutes of that movie, and guess what? I like it. It's not a different terrible thing. Yeah. But because I can't, that's not even.
Well, they called it Army of Darkness. I mean, like, they kind of did exactly what you're asking.
No. So it's trying to catch me in some weird leftist word salad.
The cover is called Army of Darkness. In fact, it's called Bruce Campbell versus the Army of Darkness. So, but I mean,
you don't know it's Ash.
You don't want it set in the Evil Dead universe. You don't want to set in that universe. Right. Fair enough. I get it.
Don't.
Now, all right. So we're gonna proceed as if you haven't seen this. Maybe it'll start clicking in, and you remember the movie halfway through, and if so, cool. But without getting
quick. No, sorry, because isn't this how many remakes of Evil Dead have there been?
No, well. All right, so there's Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness.
Don't even talk about
now, we're not talking about shows, right?
Yeah.
Now, this Evil Dead 2013.
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2013 is the first reboot, but then listen, man, there's like theory in there that it's not even really a reboot; it's actually a sequel, and you know what I mean? Like, there's like little subtle hints in the movie about that. And I'm all about movie theories that that are cool, so I'm like, okay, I can dig it if it's actually in the same universe. But and then this new one, Evil Dead Rise, in my opinion, feels like a sequel to this one that we just saw. But again, and then this one feels like it belongs in all of them, like it's tying them all together. It's got a little bit very. I don't want to say a little. I don't want to say slapstick because that is not accurate. It is not. It is
a remake
not.
of Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, it is definitely not that. I want to be very clear because you know what I mean. Because it is very violent, is very gory, it's more serious in tone, but there is some dark humor in it. You know,
Yeah, that's cool. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. It's
feel
not
like, yeah,
skeleton bones slapping him on the face and poking his eyes out like the Three Stooges. You know what I
I
mean?
feel, yeah,
Goody
thank
little
God.
two shoes.
Fucking
All that
Dennis the
shit.
Menace in the woods.
Yeah. So
So
yeah,
yeah,
man.
you don't remember my reaction at all then, like, because usually now we know each other a long time.
Oh
By this
yeah,
point, I feel like
yeah.
maybe then we were first hanging out.
I watch
But,
movies with Chuck because I enjoy torture. Because every time I try to share a movie with Chuck that I know he's gonna like, he takes a giant steaming shit all over the movie.
not all the time.
No, yeah, not all, but
Not
only
all
the
the
good
time.
ones, the one that I hold close to my heart. He's like, "Yeah, you like that movie?" Then he just just goes all in, man. So yeah.
And not to be a contrarian, anything I say that I like about it, I'll be honest, and anything I say I don't like, I'll definitely be honest.
No, yeah, for sure.
So
No,
it's
well,
never
hey,
to be a ball buster.
They Live. We were both on board with They Live.
They
You know what
live
I mean?
changed
Like,
my
hey, yeah,
life.
no,
Yeah.
we do see eye to eye sometimes, but damn,
No, a
especially
lot
like,
more
yeah, right. All
than
right, so
dislike, I think.
I'm gonna start this movie. Let's see.
So
Let's see.
real quick, I just let's before we
Please,
start.
no. Talk to me.
So, like when we watched Mike Myers together, I know you remember my reaction to shit like that. You don't remember
I wish
when
we
we
watched that
watched
on the
this?
stream.
Yeah, that's funny because I'll tear that one a new a-hole all
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
So okay, but even to you, you don't have a memory of me reacting to this movie? Because I remember you saying you talked me into watching this one because I was all like, I feel like because what remake did they do? Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I
Texas
was telling
Chainsaw,
you,
we've seen. Oh, see,
yeah,
Friday the 13th is what we saw.
that's the
That's what
one.
we saw. Friday
That's
the
the one.
13th remake, which where did you stand on that? I think you kind of liked it, but not really. You were in the middle. I think it's a great remake.
I was definitely in the middle on that one. I
You
definitely
didn't
enjoyed
totally
it
hate
for
it.
the fun. I just remember like that's when like I started to notice how bad like dialogues could be even for like slasher films. But it was so much fun like watching it and just enjoying it.
And
And
the
especially
kills are
back
so brutal.
then. Yeah, they were
Oh,
super gory. But see, sometimes I'm on the fence about that too, because are you just going for shock or whatever? But all right. I
yeah.
remember like I mostly enjoyed that other than like some dialogue shit I could, but not unlike the Mike Meyer remake ones we watched together, where I hated pretty much everything about them. The Friday the 13th I enjoyed a little bit, so I don't think we saw this yet, but maybe we did. But at
Maybe
the
we
same
did.
time too, I was also like, especially if there was another person there, like Mark or Dave or whoever, or one of our
We
other
were just
mutual
shitting on the
friends.
movie anyway. We were Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
whenever
like all of us were getting some lines in or talking whatever.
Oh, just remember when
So
Dave
it
tried to
wasn't
show
just
us
me.
that movie about St. Francis?
Well,
Do you
here's the
remember?
thing.
You were liking them, and then I started. This is one of the rare times I started shitting on the movie. I was
Yeah,
like, "Yo, this is gay."
Brother
This-
Sun, Sister Moon. That's another movie that changed my life. The story of Saint Francis of Assisi, absolutely. And I was like, no one's feeling this. This is deep. I was like, I feels like I'm having an epiphany moment.
Yeah, no, but he was just so fey, all right. Like in that whole movie, St. Francis was like, "All right, everybody, my
Yeah,
brothers and sisters,
the
oh,
telling of
let
that
us be
story.
peaceful to one another." So I was like, "Oh God, bro, get." What is in his van? All right. All
Yeah,
right. So, are you ready? Are you ready for this?
Brother Sun, Sister Moon's a classic. Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. All right. Whew. So I actually think that when I release this, I'm just gonna cut all this out. I'm gonna keep all the before stuff, and then I'm gonna keep the after stuff. But
Yeah,
we'll
do
still be able
some
to watch them.
magic.
Yeah. So I just paused it. So yeah, it was just a pain in the ass to edit because of my work schedule. So I'm like, all right,
But
I have to cut
yeah,
it up into pieces. So I never touched it, just to be fair.
I hear you.
All right, now the one that I just did with Brian is kind of how we're doing this. You saw the latest pool video I did,
Yeah,
right?
I watched it. That was really good. How did you link up with that guy? Because that guy's had his channel for a while.
I followed his channel. I signed up for lessons from him.
That's cool.
We're talking about Brian Mitchell of FX Billiards, and yeah, he is the man. He just like gives me lessons over Zoom. Has
Yeah.
definitely helped my game some, man. I can't thank him enough. He's actually really, really good.
Yeah. I feel like
Uh,
even when I was checking out your stuff, your pool stuff, that I started getting hype about pool again. So I was just randomly looking at videos, and I feel like I sent you one of his videos randomly, and you were like,
yeah,
"Oh yeah, I'm in with this dude," and I'm like, "Oh, that's the guy he was talking about."
yeah,
Your friend
yeah.
Brian.
Brian,
Yeah,
the dude is the
that's it.
man, and like when he starts doing his thing, it's like I love his videos. His videos are really easy to watch. I always feel like I learned something. But his lessons, I'm going to start getting into his master classes and really step up my game. But I think I have to like weather this summer storm for my job. You know what I mean? That rush.
Yeah,
Maybe like in the fall, I'll start like really digging in a lot more with pool.
yeah,
All right,
right
you
on. I
ready?
think you should.
You ready to get
Yep,
it cracking here with this one? All right,
cracking lacking.
crack a lacking. All right, let's go.
Two thumbs down
Two thumbs down.
for
What
thinking it too
a
clever.
prick! Oh, what's this? What's going on?
Oh, we got a little. But even still, her eyes were rolling. He was so great in front of her eyes. He was trying to make you think she's a Deadeye. She's gonna stab him in the neck. And this guy's acting like, oh yeah, we got another one. Happens all every summer. You kids come up to this cabin like you did since you were kids, but you never noticed any of this evil or the book before.
Again, I love the effects, love the gore, love what they took from it. I felt like, um, I like the tone was really good. The kills, like again, they made me squirm in my seat, man. Every single one.
Yeah, but
Oh,
why are you acting like that's what makes it a good story or a good movie? You know?
I
Yeah,
mean,
I'll give it that the effects visually look. If you
it
watch
came
the
together. I like the story. I even like the setup a lot, believe it or not. I don't know. I mean, again, I like the setup. It wasn't the same as the Evil Dead one. I think if they tried to do a similar setup like the Evil Dead, I think it would have been lame. Like it was like what again, we would have gotten freaking Vince Vaughn Psycho. So so again, this ties into like, is this a sequel or is this a remake? And I think it's a sequel.
I'm gonna
Or
say
like,
it's a sequel. For me to enjoy that, for like all the
yeah, it's a
good things you
sequel.
highlighted, I'm saying it's a continuation.
Yeah, and
That's
there's
it's,
clues
you know,
supporting that. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's almost like
yeah.
maybe Jar Jar is a Sith Lord.
That's the only
Yeah,
way
the
I can
evidence
enjoy
is there.
those prequels. Yep, that's the only way
Yeah,
I can take those. In my mind,
yeah,
that's it. So I'll apply that to this 2013 Evil Dead.
yeah. It's
And
legit.
once I saw the car in there, I'm just like, okay, to me,
Oh, so all that
that's
happened.
all that happened,
Yeah, exactly.
right? This is like
Exactly, exactly.
X amount of years later, and then
Yeah,
this is a whole new thing. Okay, that now that I'm gonna plant that in my mind and having fun with you, just watching it and bullshit and joking, like
sure,
okay, yeah,
sure.
I like it on that sense, you know.
Yeah. Now, there were plans on making an Evil Dead 2 to this one and tie in Bruce Campbell and her character and do some funky shit there. I mean, like, and again, people in the comments, if you're watching this, let us know. what you know, because I kind of know like some vague information on that, or
Yeah, let us know what you know. Make it
yeah.
funky. You know what? Can you play now in this the new trailer to the one you just saw?
Um,
Or
you're
is that not
talking about.
possible?
No, I could. No, I could. I'm worried about like I should find the like not the Red Band trailer because I don't want. I want to be able to play this.
Yeah, I understand.
You see, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I
Okay,
shouldn't
I
do
was just
the
asking.
trailer now.
But yeah,
Have you seen Don't Breathe? Did you see that on the screen?
no.
It's on the. It's the middle one on the left. You haven't seen that movie?
No, I haven't even heard about it.
That's the same guy who made Evil Dead made this one. This one's a lot more. This one's good too.
But what,
Uh,
that's Sam Raimi's or the guy who just
no,
made
the
this,
guy who directed this Evil Dead movie, Fede Alvarez. So
the
we'll see.
2013 one?
Yeah, yeah. And this one's really good.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but so yeah, so. Oh wait, all right. So I want to keep going on this. So you're telling me that if this is a sequel and not a remake, you're actually on board with that?
I'm on board with that if it's just a continuation of the Evil Dead original.
It's yeah. So
And it's to say 15, how many X years, 20, 25 years go by, and a new group of kids are going up to the cabin.
try 40 years, but okay.
Right, yeah. I mean, yeah, well, in that world, I don't know.
Yeah,
Is this
yeah.
supposed to be? Because then the siblings are talking to each other. Oh, we used to come up here every year. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? So you never
You're right.
went down into the basement and fucking found that book? You never went into the shed and like played with the tools?
Well, maybe they had one memory as a kid, and like the very next year or 2 years after that, the bullshit went down at that cabin. So whatever.
Whatever,
I can
exactly. Whatever.
whatever. I mean, yeah. Like it doesn't, dude. I mean, like you're. It's like
No,
trying to prove the.
I'm trying to get onto your like
Yeah,
enjoyment of it.
like it's an I don't know, like that angle wasn't that important for me, like, but
I
I
can see.
can do the mental gymnastics in my own head to put it together. Okay, like maybe as a kid they didn't notice the weird shit around them because there's stupid kids playing in the in the backyard or whatever,
Yeah,
and they're oblivious to everything going on. Fine, and then they had that one memory as a kid, and that was like 20 years ago, you whatever, however long ago, 15, 20 years ago. So whatever.
yeah,
Maybe all that bullshit, what happened after they left. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's all.
I hear you.
And that makes sense. And it doesn't it doesn't take a lot. It's not a stretch.
No, I can get there.
Yeah.
I
I'm
can
not
get
like,
there.
maybe they were there and in that exact moment. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? Like, we
Yeah,
don't have to do
maybe
all that
that's
stretching.
what they didn't know was what made their mom go crazy. Right, the
Yeah.
mom was, but what they're not saying by saying that is that the mom actually wound up crazy from all the years slowly going to the cabin, and that's why she was in the mental hospital. She had earlier deadite syndrome and didn't even know it.
Right. How insane was that? No. But it like I bought into that. I don't know. I thought it was creative. Again because they're trying to justify keeping this woman here, this girl here, to go through this process, right? And
Yeah,
there's too many elements in there to be like, okay, maybe I'm just going crazy right now. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I'm actually trying to find something else to play in the background here.
Interesting.
So I would give this movie like a good B plus or 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You'd give it 2 thumbs down. So that's good continuity.
Yeah,
All
that
right,
says a
now,
lot.
all right. Now this other one, are you you're not, are you even a little bit anxious to see if it's any good?
Which one?
This new one that's in the theater.
The new Evil Dead.
Yeah. Did you see the trailer for it? I think we watched it together, right?
I think so. I think I did see that trailer. No, I don't know if I am now, because revisiting this 2013 one, just all that shit lowered the bar for me.
Lowered the bar.
Yeah, if I had, and listen, don't even take that to heart, because I feel like Evil Dead 2
You're hurting
and
my
Army of
feelings.
Darkness lowered the bar too. So you know what I mean?
Wait a minute. Okay. So stop right here. Was this movie better than Evil Dead 2?
Yes.
Okay.
See,
you're the glass half empty type of guy with the ratings is what it is.
But I
think we're there. I think it's better than Evil Dead 2. And I like Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness. I think this movie is better than Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness.
100%. I agree with that. In fact, I'll call this 2013 the real Evil Dead 2.
The real Evil Dead 2. Look at that.
See? So I'm going to give it that point. So to me,
2 thumbs down, gentlemen and ladies. That's 2 thumbs down. This is my Evil Dead 2.
Yes. And then, because I'm going to take it like that, I'll give it 1 thumbs down.
1 thumbs down, 1 thumbs down. So 5 out of 10.
I'm giving it a 5 out of 10 because I hate the original Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness so much that if in 2013 it was like one of those things where it's like, you know what movie we're gonna bring back? Evil Dead. Like,
let's just erase that other shit.
It's like it doesn't even exist. It's like we're gonna do Evil Dead 2 in 2013, really? It's but edgier, gorier, more fucking adult language. It's gonna be insane. Like, wow, okay.
Yeah, but didn't our original Evil Dead have language?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but it wasn't like that much. You know what I mean?
Swallow your soul, like that shit.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, because this was definitely like that script was written even to have like shocking dialogue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There were some curses in the first Evil Dead. I bet you can count them on one hand. Yeah. There was, there was no female demons running around saying, "I want to suck your cock and kiss me."
Yeah, best line of the movie.
It's like, all right, Exorcist.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Oh, wait, I'll tell you what though. Like, all right, so now this, I hate that trope. I thought it was done well in The Exorcist, but like the possessed girl having to curse and do like that shit. I am kind of sick of that trope. Like, there's other ways to show it. Right. That being said, this is an Evil Dead movie. It is kind of essential. Again, it is a possession movie to a degree, the first movie.
Right.
So you got to have that element, but they did borrow a little more. Even, her peeing down her leg and all that stuff, that was right out of The Exorcist.
Yeah.
So there was some nods there.
Vomiting when the one girl vomits on the other girl in this Evil Dead. It's just
great scene.
Blood. Yeah, but even that's borrowed from the vomiting in Exorcist.
Kind of. It is, but it's also turned up. Turns up a notch.
Yeah,
like I was just puking right in her mouth.
And blood
what
too.
You
know what I mean? Right. Yeah. It's not like some weird pea soup or whatever it's been joked about. Like this was straight up just blood. Like
like you are sick. You are gonna you caught something.
That's it. You're not a deadite for real.
Effing A, man. So this is your Evil Dead 2. 1 thumbs up, 1 thumbs down.
Yeah,
I give it an 8 out of 10.
Evil Dead 2 because that's the story that happened X amount of years later after Ash and his crew were all. And I'll leave it open if Ash died or not. But at the very end, Evil Dead 1, there's the demon spirit into a screaming Ash, right? So, but who knows?
Evil Dead 1, it really heavily implies that he died or he got taken by the Deadite at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Because you think he's saved by the sunrise and all his other friends really being dead, you know. They
yeah,
all decompose, so when he steps out and the sun's rising and you think he got away, but then that zoom, so great too, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
So
Evil
I'm
Dead
gonna
2
say,
starts with the goofy shit. Let's bring
oh
it.
yeah, fucking
He
true.
gets kind of possessed, kind of not, and go from there.
Yeah, that's why I'll take the 2013 was, and I'll just say it was a failed attempt, but still the best attempt so far. So I'm gonna go from the original Evil Dead to 2013 Evil Dead
Out of
to
10.
the show to this, and that's where I end. That's that show
Oh,
they did on
interesting.
TNT or whatever, which I only saw one season of, and I think I saw most of that with you, and you had the first two or three, maybe first episode, or I feel like you got me into it. I watched the first season. I was really liking it. I never watched. I think they did what 2, 3 seasons, and then it got canceled, right?
I own all the seasons too, man, and I haven't watched them all.
Wow. Well,
So
he was
maybe we
right.
should do that.
Maybe we should, because I gotta say though, after the first season, I was excited for the second season, but then
And then you
during
just didn't
that
get to it.
lapse of time, I was like, I think I got it. You know what I mean? It's like because I
Yeah,
also
it's
don't like
funny.
I
Yeah.
don't like bumbling Ash. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
That's why I liked this show. That first season was great, and I'm like, cool. But then after a while, there was a little lull in between seasons, and it kind of just faded out to me. And in my mind, I'm like, all right, he's running around getting into wacky adventures with the
Yeah,
black
which
guy, the
it's kind of
Spanish
surprised
guy.
me that you
It's
like
like,
it actually. The more I think about it, like I'm kind of surprised that you like it because it's like it is a very much in the spirit of Army of Darkness more so than anything. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Yeah, there's definitely I think they take the Deadites more serious than they did in Army of Darkness because Army of Darkness was walking skeletons and just like it got really lame
yeah,
to a certain
yeah. It was
degree.
Jason
And
and
again,
the
I love
Aquanauts,
this
whatever
movie.
that
I just
is.
watched it today. I watched it today before we did the podcast.
That's funny.
Loved
Yeah.
it. Yeah, there's some great lines in there, so
Yeah. No, no, and that's another thing too, because even with Army of Darkness, you call that Black Knight meets fucking Mighty Python, and I like it. I
yeah.
like Bruce Campbell as fake Ash playing this little Back to the Future medieval fucking fairy tale story, but it's not Evil Dead. It's not even related in my mind to Evil. I don't care what the writing is. Like that's not the same Ash from that first Evil Dead movie. See, this is where they fuck up. This is where Hollywood always fucks up. Whether like the minute like they get that second budget, they get that second fucking chance with a bigger budget, they blew it.
They
They
blur.
always, other than the rare exceptions, and I do mean rare, it's always like, oh, what the fuck? When they were hungry, you always watch those first movies and cats were hungry. They're always great because it's like they wanted it, and then they get this money, they get producers in their ear, they got to compromise their scripts, they got to get that product placement in, all that shit, and then that's where it's just like, that's it, it's done, it's done. And Evil Dead was exactly that. And then even with the show, once I realized it was just Ash going on Scooby Doo adventures, I was like, the first season was cool. I'm good. you
Yeah, right.
know?
You got to find a piece to the book and the page and okay, yeah. I kind of
Yeah. And now he's got all the sidekicks, the witty Spanish guy, the sassy
that's
black girl
me.
who's a
No, it's not.
cop.
No,
Yeah, right.
no,
The dorky white guy, that's me.
that's
You
me. Yeah.
know. So he's got all this. So he's a loser. He's working at the Walmart. It's like, no, my Ash was fucking awesome. The first Ash was a dude who fucking battled evil all night, and then most likely was killed himself by sunrise.
Yeah.
You know? That's
And
it.
let's
And
leave it
Jar
there.
Jar was a Sith the whole time.
I'm gonna end the podcast there, but I don't want you to leave real quick, okay? Because
All right.
hold on.
Just
So
remind the viewers that this show was brought to them by
unofficially by Chimpy. That's all my friend. Used to make the checks to Sith Lord Felix, Jim Beam.
That's
All
it.
right. And recording. All right. So actually, before I even end, do you want to say where you people can find you, or do you not give a shit?
I don't have anything out right now. I'm an amateur this and amateur that. But if I do something cool, I'll let everybody know.
You gotta get him. We gotta start convincing him to
Hey, the
start
world
painting.
needs plenty of bartenders.
We need to get him to start painting again. But
I'm actually a professional pool player, and you can check me out at FXB Billiards.
yeah, no, that is not Brian. That's hilarious. No, but you can find me at SithLord Felix on Twitter, on Minds, on Rumble, on YouTube. You can find me at Channel Starface, Xbox. You can find me SithLord Felix, all that stuff. So, thank you so much for stopping by and checking us out. Leave a comment. Make sure you hit like, hit the bell,
Hit the bell, like
for
and
notifications. Bye bye. No, God bless everyone. Take care.
Doodles.